Hi, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. I thought of a memory and I thought I would share it with you. And I'm going to start by telling you how much I am hoping that we will have a white Christmas this year. I think I've only had one in my entire life. And not that there was a lot of snow. Sorry, my eye's itching. But we did have some snow. That was nice. We get snow once in a while, a little bit more in January, but really I live in an area that gets very little snow. So I want to tell you a story though that I think you'll find interesting. And I'm going to back up to the springtime when I'm guessing maybe 21 or 22 years old. And I was so poor. I was a single mom and just really did not have discretionary money. But I had dug up a little section in front of this little tiny house that I lived. I think it was about 650 square feet, so a small house. But in front of the little concrete patio, and along the little walkway that went up the middle of that, I had worked up the ground. It wasn't very wide. I don't think it was 2 feet wide on the walkway and across the front. And I wanted to plant flowers. Now, I didn't have money to buy plant starts, so I planted seeds. Petunia seeds is what I planted that year. Well, that year was a huge drought. And we were on a water system that wasn't the public water system in Riddle at that time. Looks like this is crooked. But it was Pine Springs water. And if any of you are from Riddle, you might remember Pine Springs water. Well, the weather was just so dry that, much to my dismay, after planting my little flower seeds, we were not allowed to water outside at all. There was a big water restriction. And so my little seeds laid and baked in the summer heat all summer. And when the fall came and the rains began to come, I never even thought to look to see if any plants had come up. I'm sure there were weeds and stuff that came up. But one evening I came home and I saw what I thought was some paper in my flower bed. And I gotta admit, I was kind of irritated. I thought, who's throwing paper in my yard? And I went to pick up that paper, and it was not paper. When I got down really close, what it was a beautiful dark purple petunia. Those little plants had came up when I was not watching. Oh, what a gift. I was thrilled. Well, it wasn't too many days after my petunia began blooming, and I don't really remember how many petunias came up, but I remember that purple one very well. And the weather was going to turn really cold. I did not want my beautiful little petunia to freeze because I knew that we would get some warmer weather again soon, and I wanted to stretch out that blooming time as long as I could. So I took some blankets out and I covered my little flower beds. Well, in the morning, I got a telephone call from my dad. My dad was a very neat person. He did not like messes at all. And he called and he says, "Maria, look out your window." He sounded just stern. And I thought, oh no, Dad came by and he saw the blankets in the yard and now I'm in trouble. But he didn't say that. He just said, look out in your yard. So I went and I looked out the window of my door And there was snow. There was a lot of snow. It was a heavy snow, very wet snow. But there was probably 10 inches, maybe somewhere around there, that had fallen during the night. And it was beautiful. It even covered up the blankets that I'd thrown out to protect my petunias, which, by the way, it did. So after I got off the phone with my dad, I rushed to the back to see what it looked like in the backyard, because if you haven't got to be around snow much, you can just love it so much, and I do. And I had a really big pussy willow tree in the backyard. It had to be 50 or 60 feet high, and I enjoyed it every spring. And it was beautiful, covered in snow, all the branches and stuff. Then I noticed one branch was bent way down, almost touching the ground. That was not normal. There were no low branches on mine. So I went outside and I was trying to figure out what was happening to my pussy willow, that this big branch, had to have been at least 8 inches around, was bent over so far. And as I looked up, it had broke by the weight of the snow. And there it was, touching the ground. So I went into the house. Like I said, I was young. I had no money to speak of, and I had no tools. But what I did have was I had an old hickory knife. And so I went outside with my old hickory butcher knife, and I whacked and chopped away at that branch till I cut it off. And that is one of my fun memories of a big snow in Riddle when I was young. Now, if we happen to get a snow, big snow even, I of course don't want it to break any of my trees, but I do want to enjoy it. So I'm going to be praying for it. We need snow. We need more water. We've had drought. And wherever you are, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas season, or maybe you celebrate Hanukkah, and in that case, wonderful season for Hanukkah. And if you'd like snow, I hope you get some too. All right, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. I want to pray blessings on you and yours, in your house, out of your house, in the day and the night. Whatever you do, keep dreaming. All right, good night. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I have 337 subscribers now, and I was hoping by Christmas that I might be up to 350. So you could help me with that by either pressing that bell to subscribe to my channel, or if you already have, maybe you can find something from my channel that you can share with somebody else, so maybe they'll subscribe. All right, have a wonderful evening. Good night.